Mike?
Has Dylan Harper signed with the Spurs yet?
I think they have until July the 6th or something like that, where they can start officially signing. That's like free agents. So
right, but we've already seen that other rookies have already signed. Like Cooper
not
Flag apparently
officially signed. They I guess they reported to the team, but I don't know if they can have an official signing until the 6th.
What is Jakob Poeltl doing making all this money? 4 years, $104 million, Joe.
Fucking freezing his ass off over there in Toronto. Who the hell wants to be in Toronto in the freaking
hanging out with Mamu? Dude, Poeltl and Mamu reconnected, reunited.
He's gonna tell Jakob, remember when you fell asleep outside over there on the rooftop and you got sunburned? We call him the rock lobster.
Yeah.
He came back, he absorbed the power of the sun and then had one of his best games ever. Like with second degree burns.
What was the guy that played for the Spurs? That was like the 12th man or the 15th man that got drunk with Tim Duncan. And he was like, "Thanks, man."
Aaron Baines.
Aaron Baines.
Yeah, that guy was a douchebag, man.
He was a "do you know who I am" kind of guy.
Nah, that guy was a douchebag. They put him over there with the Austin Spurs one time. He complained the whole time he was there. Then somebody that I'm not gonna name saw him after the game. Announcers like, "Hey, Aaron, how's it going?" And he looks at him right in the eye and he goes, "Fuck you." He got in his car. And then he proceeded to tear off and then run into a couple cars on the way out.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. This is the last show of the week because tomorrow is Independence Day, 4th of July. Typically, we play this jingle on Fridays, but Joe, it's a Thursday. And you know what? We don't give a damn today because it's our Friday.
So without further ado.
Oh, it's Friday, and I'm broke. My check better not be short.
It's Friday, and I'm broke. My check better not be short.
Better not be short. And guess what? My check was short today, dude.
Oh,
I got pissed off. Made a phone call to corporate today. Got pissed off because my check was short. And I noticed it. I called in and they're like, "Oh, well, we didn't process these transactions as quick as possible." I get paid on quarterly things. And I was like, okay, so since you all waited until after June 30th, I don't get paid on it. F that. I'm going to get paid. Figure it out. Joe, there's some big news going on in sports right now. We didn't talk about a pregame, but Diogo Jota passed away. The soccer star passed away at the age of 28. As Sam Salinas mentions, has 3 kids, had just gotten married, played for Liverpool. He died in a car crash in Spain, just 28 years old. Married last month. This whole accident happened just after midnight. In Zamora in northwestern Spain. And his brother, Andre Silva, also a soccer player, also died in the crash. And they believe that the reason for the accident was a tire blowing out. And it was a Lamborghini that they were in, caught fire, and both occupants died. It's being investigated as a possible speeding incident, according to CNN, and according who are quoting government sources out there. Yoda was an attacker who played an important role in Liverpool's recent title-winning season. He scored 6 goals and 4 assists in 26 appearances. Dead at the age of 28. Oh.
No, man, sad.
Very, 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 very sad. Now, typically, Joe, when it comes to the show, I bring up topics and things like that. But today, dude, you were rapid fire this morning, right? Right before we got on the show, we were rapid fire talking about all the things you wanted to get into. You want to talk about Pop a little bit, and the article on SI. Want to talk about, dude, Ace Bailey signed with the Jazz. He actually signed with the Jazz.
He showed up to work.
Well, he realized in order to get that paycheck, he needs to have a contract, and he went and he signed with the Jazz. And
Yeah.
apparently, I saw a video of Ace Bailey at a Boys and Girls Club there in Utah teaching a camp. Dude, that guy's trying to repair his image real fast, man. And they're playing nice. They and the Jazz are playing nice. Wouldn't it be funny, Joe, if he becomes like a legend in Utah? He never wanted to go there, was forced to go there, becomes a legend. Reminds me of Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, famously from the Los Angeles area, he was
Yeah.
a military brat. He and his sister was an all-time great women's basketball player, Cheryl. And you see Reggie Miller go to Indiana. Didn't want to go there. Didn't know anything about the people there. Was like, man, this is, not enough
F
African
that, dude.
American
That's what he was
people there.
saying.
He was just like, what am I doing here? It's cold. I have no culture here. There's not a lot of people who look like me here. And now that guy can walk into any place in Indianapolis and eat and drink for free for the rest of his life
Yeah.
because they love him over there. He's a legend there. He never wanted to go there. David Robinson coming to San Antonio, right? Had no ties to San Antonio. Is forever a legend because he came here, became a star here, became a champion here. Wouldn't it be funny if Ace Bailey goes to Utah and actually likes being there?
Nah, bro. Nobody likes being in Utah. He better win, and he better win now, because if not, the fans are going to turn on him. And you know what? They've been known to be very racist. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you better change that image real quick.
Speaking of racist, maybe the opposite way, I reached out to James Pledger, San Antonio Sports Star. I set up a TikTok where there was this one guy talking about the Charlotte Hornets, who at the number 4 pick picked Con Knipple, right?
Yeah.
They had 3 draft picks, 2 in the first round. Both guys white. The guy they picked up in the second round, white. The 3 guys that they picked up in free agency, white. And they're saying they're coming out with the whitest team possible. And James Pledger and I are going back and forth laughing about it. And he's like, man, they're gym rats. They're the first person in the gym, the first one out. All the phrases that are used to describe white athletes, which is funny.
Are they well, a white man can't jump?
I watched that movie the other day, by the way, Joe,
Still
a couple of days ago. And I was going to post on Twitter about that movie. Kadeem Hardison, who played Dwayne Wayne in what was that? A Different World. Is that,
dude, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Dwayne.
So he's in White Man Can't Jump, and there's that one scene where, where Wesley Snipes' character gets hustled for the first time by Woody Harrelson, and he's out there just going back and forth. He's like the third person in the mix there, dude. He was so funny, dude. He was so funny in that movie. The Jacksons, yes, Michael Jackson. I do know is from Gary, Indiana. I do know that. I do know that. But it ain't the same type of African American flavor, man. African American flavor is different, man. Kind of like Latino flavor is different. You go to San Antonio, it's different than say El Paso. It's different than say Los Angeles. It's different than say the Miami.
Laredo. I know you're gonna crap on the Valley, bro.
It's different. No, what I'm saying is that the culture is different, right? It's not the same, dude. Just because I'm Hispanic doesn't mean that I can go to New York and be in a Hispanic group over there and fit in, or fit in with the Latinos in California. It's different.
Or fit in with the Latinos from the Valley. You go to the Valley and Mike instantly goes, ew.
Why is that so much?
Yeah, it's just saying, bro. You're always crapping on the Valley. I know people from El Paso and like Laredo and all that. They're good people, man. There's nothing wrong with that. You make it sound like the Valley's like, I don't know, some slum.
Valley, it's just so hot, dude. It's so hot.
San Antonio.
It's a different hot, man. At least we have water parks, man. I mean, at least we got a little something going on. But
you just don't like the Valley, bro.
It's funny. You go down to the Valley.
Look,
the only the only people from El Paso is not a flex.
I'm not saying it's a flex. I'm just saying I know people from there. One of my best friends is from El Paso. He lives like 2 blocks away from me, man. It's like it's not a bad place, as bad as people say, you know?
Dude, did I tell you about being in the Dominican Republic? How many times the people there got after me for not speaking Spanish well enough? Like, I mean, I got enough to go buy, order food, shop or whatever, but I speak Spanish like a fourth or fifth grader, right? I understand it decently enough, but I don't speak it very well. And Chica doesn't either, right? But Chica, you look at her and you could think, oh, maybe she's Italian, maybe she's Native American, maybe she is Native American. What if she's this and the other? But she has Hispanic blood in her as well, so she kind of considers herself Mexican, identifies as that, if you will. But man, so many people were like, "What's your name again? Jimenez? Why don't you know Spanish, dude?" I heard that like 9 times in the
You're a no
Dominican Republic.
sabo.
They called me out on being no sabo over there. I knew enough. It's not like you can talk trash behind my back and me not know what you're saying. I do know what you're
You're gonna
saying.
pull a Canelo. ¿Qué me dijiste, cabrón?
Hey, if Selena Quintanilla was a no sabo kid, so can I, man. She didn't know what the hell she was singing.
Look at Jesse A. Mike is in the order of Cool Arrow.
Dude, when I worked at Ken's 5 back in 2014, 2015, and they had that murder or that shooting at Cool Arrow's nightclub downtown, I kept on telling them, hey, maybe you don't want to like say that. Maybe you want to just call it like that bar north of downtown or west of downtown. And they were like, whoa, what's going on? It's called Cool Arrows. I'm like, yeah, maybe get out a Spanish dictionary, my man. Maybe Google what that means.
Maybe they should have done that over there at Fox 29. Remember when they said a happy birthday to that guy Chupa?
Chupa. You see, so this no sabo kid
bro.
knows all of that, right? I know enough of that. I lived close enough to Marbach to know all the Spanish words, all the slur words and whatnot.
Yo soy el coco. You should have said. Oh, Mike, man, they burning you today, man. They're cooking.
Joe, you wanted to get into patriotic movies today, man. Do we want to go into pop culture first, or do we want to talk sports first?
Let's talk pop culture first, man, because let's talk about this. We're on the eve of America's Independence Day here, and we're talking about like your favorite 4th of July flicks that are kind of like not maybe 4th of July related, but like patriotic in a way. One of the favorites, and I know I like watching it. It's a guilty pleasure. Is the original Independence Day, like has one of the best speeches, but the movie's
Is that President Whitmore?
Yeah.
President Whitmore. Okay, so I saw that movie about 3 days ago because it's back on Hulu, right? And it's not on Hulu or Amazon Prime. It's back on there. I was putting together a shelf, and there's like 1,000 pieces there. You're trying to put it all together. I needed something in the background, so I put Independence Day on, and because it's Independence Day weekend, right? And there's so many different questions about that movie. First of all, as Chica and I were watching it, we're talking about the fact that was probably the pinnacle of Will Smith's career, right? That time frame, the Bad Boys first coming out time frame, where you look at Will Smith and everybody loved him. Right now, we all look at Will Smith and we pity him. We're like, oh my God, why do you have to go back? Why do you have to go home to that girl, dude? That girl
He just should have
like
walked
crazy.
away, man. He should have walked away, bro.
That girl cheats on you. That girl loved Tupac. You were not even the love of her life. She cheats on you. It's public. Everybody knows. You went and slapped Chris Rock. Like, everybody looks at Will Smith like, oh my God, man, I remember back in the day. Because Will Smith back in the 90s, dude, with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
yeah,
with his rap music, man, that song Summertime is iconic. Then you go off and he was doing, Wild Wild West, which was kind of hokey.
That was
but he did Independence Day, Men in Black, the Bad Boys movies and things like that with Martin Lawrence. There was a time in life, probably right around 2000, 2001, where Will Smith was the most popular celebrity in all of Hollywood. Like, his Q rating was high, his popularity, white, black, brown, we all loved him. Men loved him, women loved him. Everybody loved themselves some Will Smith. And look at what has happened 25 years later, Joe. He's had great movies along the way, right? The Ali movie, Pursuit of Happiness, and things like that. But at the end of the day, we look at Will Smith and go, man, you're not the guy that we remember you being. You're a shell of yourself, right? But going and watching Will Smith's movie, Independence Day, that was such a good movie. It's a trash movie. It's a stupid movie. But it is the ultimate popcorn movie. I cannot think of a better popcorn flick than Independence Day. Prove me wrong. What's a better popcorn flick than Independence Day, where you sit down with popcorn, you have no issues in life, you just want to go into fantasy land, where old people, young people, white people, black people, brown people, conservatives, liberals can all come together and enjoy one movie for 2 hours and eat popcorn. It's the best movie of all time when it comes to that. Armageddon came close. But dude, give me some Independence Day.
You know what else is a good flick to watch? Even though it might not be Independence Day related, kind of, but Coming to America is a popcorn flick. Funny as hell, dude.
Oh, Coming to America is amazing.
McDowell's.
McDowell. I mean, Coming to America is my favorite comedy of all time. I mean, I am 48 years old. That movie, when I first watched it when I was 12, was funny. I'm 48 now. I will die laughing, dude. My hair got so curly right now. Chica gave me a photo of Eric LaSalle as the Soul Glow guy, saying, dude, you're like 2 weeks away from that.
And let your soul glow.
I love the Lord. And if loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right. It was just some guy I met in the bathroom. Dude, there was great movies. But I think that there's an issue there when it comes to like the ages that can watch it, because it is a PG-13 movie. There is some nudity in that movie. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness. There's stuff like that maybe can't be collectively everybody in. But Independence Day, the movie, Will Smith, is that Vivica A. Fox in that movie? Jeff Goldblum? Bill Pullman? I think is the quintessential perfect movie for a family to watch, especially around this time of year. Which brings up the question, Joe. President Whitmore, you mentioned the speech. Why did you like that speech so much? When he's talking about, it's not just an American holiday, it can become a worldwide holiday.
He's the best hype man out there, as far as the president going.
Was he better than Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday?
Yeah. That was a lot better than Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. That was stupid, dude. Any Given Sunday is a stupid ass movie. If it comes out, I'm changing the channel, man. It's dumb.
Well, tell me about President Whitmore, man. Why did he rile you up, man? Was he talking about, we're fighting annihilation, we're fighting for a right to survive, a right to live.
All these guys are going in thinking, man, you know what, we might not be coming back, but he's like, you know what, we're doing it for a reason, and we're gonna get you all hyped, trying to get the guys ready to go into battle, and say like, F this, man, we're gonna go out swinging, Yeah. And I think that's the consensus behind the speech. But the speech really at the end of the day is like, the movie is like a B movie, and this speech is too good for the movie. Like it should be in like a top tier movie, But thinking about movies and what things that get you hyped and stuff on Independence Day, that's just good to watch. How about throwing some Rocky, bro?
Dude, okay, the most patriotic of them is Rocky 4, but Rocky 4 takes place on Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, who's
the promoter saying that they're going to have a boxing match in the Soviet Union on Christmas Eve? That's the stupidest plot line of the movie.
They don't do that, dude. Nobody in boxing does that. Usually at that time of year, the boxing world comes to a halt. Everybody's with their families. They're enjoying the holidays, all that kind of stuff. Then it kicks back up again when the year, resumes. But it's, the red, white, and blue. You have Apollo Creed. You have America versus
Living
Russia.
In America. James Brown.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. That has to be up there.
No, that's a great movie. Nothing makes you want to work out, dude. Rocky 4 was a workout video, dude. It had some great music, and it's so funny because Chica will be in my car and I have 1,200 songs on Spotify, and I hit just mix whatever song comes on. My own version of Jack FM, and all of a sudden, Hearts on Fire comes on. Hearts on Fire.
They get you going at the gym.
I pull it off to the side of the road. I start doing some military presses.
You're gonna go grab a branch.
Babe, give this wheelbarrow. Let me lift you up.
Let me go grab a bag of rocks, pick it up. You know, like what the hell's going on, man? Hey, we
So,
do got
so,
a super chats from the
hey,
Drew Show.
hey, real fast, before we get to that though. Independence Day, President Whitmore, was he a Democrat or Republican?
Oh, dude. Come on, Mike. He was a Democrat, bro.
Dude, I would suggest otherwise, man. I
No,
suggest he's a
man.
Republican.
No.
Okay, may I approach the bench? May I state my
You can
case?
approach the bench, but the brother was wearing a blue suit, and I didn't see no red tie on him.
Okay, 1990s. Okay, 1990s. Latinos and African Americans voted predominantly for what? For what?
Oh, that's a lie.
Party? No,
African Americans and Mexicans don't vote notoriously.
no, but those who do
Yeah.
vote Democrat back in the day. And to some extent, still a majority, but not as big of a majority. It was like 90% back in the day, especially during the Clinton years, right?
Yeah.
What does Vivica A. Fox's character say? I voted for the other guy.
Yeah.
All right. So I assume that she and her boyfriend, who was Will Smith's character, voted the same way, right? But I'm gonna tell you the number one reason why I think he is a Republican. Well, he was former military, which probably plays a little bit of a role because he was a fighter pilot, right?
Yeah.
If you're in the military, you lean right. But it's because of the person that was his chief of staff. Not Robert Loggia's character, but the squirrely one, the slimy one who wanted to nuke the city of Houston. Remember, he wanted to nuke the city of Houston, had bad war plans and all that stuff. That's a hallmark of.
I support that decision, man. Who's gonna miss Houston, bro? Who's gonna miss Houston? Nuke it off the face of the earth. Do the world a favor, dude.
The armpit of Texas.
It's the shit stain of Texas, bro. Just nuke it. Nobody will miss it. You won't miss it. You won't miss it. I promise you.
Yeah, so Sam Salita says, hold on, Mike, wrenching your argument. They were a military family as well. That's what I'm saying. Military is slightly right? It's even if you are a minority, slightly right of center politically.
Yeah.
But he says he voted for the other guy. Find that to be interesting. And then they say the words plausible deniability, right? That screams Reagan with Oliver North, right? Because Area 54 and all that stuff,
yeah.
didn't exist. And but it does exist.
Area 51, Mike. Area 54. I don't know what that is.
Studio 54. That's what I'm thinking. Studio 54 was in New York, right? Oh my God, dude. I don't know. I think Whitmore was Republican, man.
No, I think he was a Democrat.
You know what? That's a great poll question.
You know what else is another favorite I think people watch probably during Independence Day? Has to be Forrest Gump.
Yes.
You know, he was Forrest Gump, for being a dumbass that he was a certified war hero, bro. Like the guy went back and got his best friend, man, Bubba. You know, got shot in the ass and everything, was out there trying to save people.
Bubba, would Forrest Gump have been as successful if Bubba had survived?
No. I think that was the running joke, is that, you know, him and Bubba had made this pact, right? And even though Bubba wasn't around, Forrest Gump, being the man that he is, a man of his word, still was sending that money to the Bubba Gump's mama. Remember that? She got her first check and she was like, oh.
She fainted?
She fainted, man. And then you keep seeing them throughout the movie, and then they have white servants. She's living large, you know. She keeps getting paid. And even though the business is going and it's big, it's successful, he's a man of his word, and he keeps on sharing the wealth, you know, with Bubba's mama, which I thought was endearing, you know. It's good to see her on the come up, you know?
Yeah. I saw this thing a long time ago that said that your ideas about Jenny can tell you exactly who you voted for president,
bro. Jenny was a hoe for show.
Okay, if you thought that Jenny had it coming, you probably voted Republican. If you thought that Jenny was a product of her environment and are empathetic about her being, raped by her dad and all that stuff growing up and having a poor childhood, you're probably a left-leaning
Biggest question for me:
politically.
Forrest had a kid with her, right?
Yeah.
The kid didn't have AIDS or nothing like that, man.
Well, she didn't have AIDS.
Or whatever she had. I thought she had like HIV.
She didn't
or
have AIDS.
something.
That's like
Was
the
it
big
cancer
urban.
or what is it that she had?
That's the urban legend. She had hepatitis.
And she passed it on to the baby?
I don't know. Let me see. What did Jenny die of? Let me see here. According to the movie, she died of hepatitis C. So the actual book says that she died of hepatitis C.
Okay.
She didn't die of AIDS or HIV, which is the ongoing like urban legend of that movie. That's what she died of, right?
Yeah.
And it's like everyone says that. If you polled 100 people,
They probably say the same thing.
they would all say the same thing. You know why? You were haters, dude.
No.
People who hate her hate her.
No, I'm not hating her. I'm just saying she got around a lot, It's just saying, And we got a super chat still from Drew Show and Mario Cavazos.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So Drew Show is talking about Mars Attacks is better. That's what he's saying.
I'm aware of Mars Attacks and I've seen clips, but I don't think I've seen the whole movie, Joe.
Mars Attacks is pretty good. It's kind of a parody on the sci-fi genre. It's not bad. It's not bad at all, man. And Drew Show has another $2 super chat. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate
Money
you.
talk.
Here comes the money.
And he's saying Stargate better sci-fi than Independence Day. Stargate is a different type of film, man. And I enjoyed both. But I gotta say, if you've never seen Stargate is low-key one of those that kind of flies under the radar that a lot of people don't know about, but it's still pretty good.
I'll be honest with you, I've heard of Stargate, never seen it, but I'm looking it up right now. Is it the one that stars Kurt Russell and James Spader?
Yeah, it is. It's
Dude, I like Kurt Russell. I like James Spader. They're really good actors. So I'm not going to bag on this one. I've never seen it, but I'd give it a try.
Yeah, and then we have a $5 incoming super chat from Mario Cavazos. Appreciate you, boys.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Mario Cavazos, he goes on to say here, in the distant future, the Earth is at war with a race of giant alien insects, Starship Troopers. Don't know why I like that shit. He goes, un grito, viejito. You got it, Mario.
Let's do it.
I should have made the viejito grito patriotic today. I should change the background. Just thought of it.
Presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor.
Woo,
Yeah,
that'll clear the sinus.
You don't do that on ice, though, man. That's just not going to happen.
Why not? Don't be scared. You know what they have now? They have this app I was seeing, and they were talking about it, and it was saying that they have an app now that you can go ahead and track where ICE is at. Like if they're around your area and they're doing raids or whatnot, and you can actually locate or track where they're going to be at in the vicinity. So I was like, okay, they're being tracked now. So it's like if you're not from here, you're not supposed to be here. At least it gives you a heads up, enough time to hopefully leave.
An alert like when KSAT alerts my phone, lightning's been detected 5 miles from you.
Yeah. So it's like at least you got time to go hide or something, because I mean you're out there working, man, and they're out here raiding like work sites and going to hotels because they got people working in the hotel. I'm like, come on, man.
Joe, how excited are you about USA versus Mexico? Is that what's going on next?
Yeah, you got USA versus Mexico. You have that coming up here. I just went ahead and retweeted that. Let me get back to it here. That way I can show what happened, because this is a game that's going to be happening on Saturday. It's the Gold Cup.
Gold Cup.
Yeah, so the USA men's team is heading to the Gold Cup final here. They're going to be facing off against Mexico. And there you go. It's going to happen. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox, 5 p.m. Central here if you're in San Anto. So I know I'll be watching this. I'll probably be drunk as hell because I'm going to be doing a show with our boy here, Sith Elias. I'm
Yeah.
going to be a guest on his show, and his show is called Plead the Sith. So I'm going to go ahead and show the graphic for Elias here. Give me a
Is it going to
second.
be uncensored? When he has me on that show, is it going to be uncensored?
Oh yeah, it's going to be uncensored. We're going to talk a lot of shit.
I'd be on his home turf, right? So
I
that's
might be drunk by that time, I'll be having a few brews in me, so that might be an interesting show. Either way, go ahead and tune in. It's going to happen on Saturday at 5 p.m. We'll be off the air, so enough time for everybody to be watching the USA versus Mexico match for the Gold Cup. So it'll be fun, man. I'll be on there
that
for a
game.
little bit.
That game's going to be at NRG Stadium in Houston. I'm looking at prices right now on StubHub right now. Cheapest seat to get in is 164, 160. I'll say
Woo.
149 with the fees. If you want to be kind of what in the bunker, I guess you could say behind the goalie, 334 a ticket. So if I go over there, who do I cheer for? Do I cheer for USA or do I cheer for Mexico? What's the ruling on that? Because I
Hey,
know there's
man.
a lot of I know there's a lot of Mexican Americans who are going to be out there wearing green and red, and white. That's what they're
That
going to
might
do.
that might be a dangerous mix there, Mike. If you're going to go ahead and root for Mexico and ICE is out there, you might be getting on the bus, bro.
Is ICE going to show up to the Shakira concert that got rescheduled in San Antonio?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
man.
that Shakira concert is going to be a debacle, man. How does she
They,
apologize to the people that are there?
who knows, man? I mean, you can't give them anything for free because it's about making money.
Black bucket. I should go to that soccer game. Jackpot.
You know what? That's the thing, though, man. They're getting mad at these officers out there because they're like, y'all aren't arresting enough people. What do y'all want them to do, man? It's like this is the way things have turned.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, they have the officers that are out there doing these things. They're just following orders, and it's coming from higher up.
Hey, man.
They're telling them to do these things. It sucks.
A good being a good soldier was exactly what the Nazis said back in the day. By the way,
I'm just saying, man. At the end of the day, it's they're getting mad at them because they're saying that they're not arresting enough people. How about that? Like it's stupid, man. There's more pressing matters, at hand besides just that. And I just think that it's, the immigration thing is taken away from what else needs to happen here in America and in the States. It's a sad time, because you have a lot of these people that are out there wanting to earn money and earn a living for their families, but there has to be some type of healthy median in the way for them.
Mhm.
It's just a bad situation, man. But getting back to what we're doing here with the talk here, the chatter of 4th of July movies. I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Well,
I was-
give me another one, Joe.
I was
Another
thinking
page-
about it.
We were talking about Glory.
Okay, Glory. We talk about Coming to America. We talked about Forrest Gump, and now I'm thinking when it comes to when you think about 4th of July, you got to think about the president, right? And what better movie to watch than Air Force One? Harrison Ford in it, man.
Get off my plane.
Right? That's a good one to watch.
Okay, so let's talk about like the best presidents that were in movies, right?
Yeah.
Michael Douglas in The American President, Harrison Ford in Air Force One. You had Morgan Freeman in like one of the like Olympus Has Fallen or Washington Has Fallen or whatever. I think he's been in both of them. You have the TV show The West Wing.
Yeah.
You had the movie you had the TV show 24. You had Kiefer Sutherland in Designated Survivor. Who do you like as president, Joe?
I like Harrison Ford. Thought he made a good
That's
president.
a good one, man. That's a good one.
Thought he made a good
What about the movie Dave with Kevin Kline?
Oh God, dude.
That was a good movie.
That
was a
wasn't
good movie.
believable, Mike.
The
That wasn't
lookalike that came in
believable.
and won the heart of the first lady and took over as president and then dipped out. Come on, man.
Look what they said. Mike's going to watch Oppenheimer. I don't
movie
think you
sucked.
liked it.
Oppenheimer sucked.
You're
At the
not
end of the-
refined, Mike. You're like a swine. You're a what do you call it? When it comes to those people that review film and all that, you're a film swine because you only like the popcorn flicks that don't make you think.
Interesting.
If it makes you think, or it's like let's say
It was boring, Joe.
historical. If it's a
Oh,
historical movie based on historical facts, Mike's like, I'm out. I'm out. I don't want to learn. I don't want to get educated.
my favorite one that is like everyone gets wrong. It's on Amazon Prime right now for their patriotic stuff, right? Which was the Alamo, which has
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton, and it's like, dude, it's like so inaccurate. It's unbelievable, but you have to watch it because it's about San Antonio.
Look at that. They're bringing up some good ones now. White House Down, Jamie Foxx, Channing Tatum, Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, Top Gun's a good patriotic movie.
Top Gun. And then you can watch both Top Guns, the Top Gun and then Top Gun Maverick, both good films, you know. Apollo 13, you know?
Yeah, you have Jesse A coming up and saying President Selena Meyer Nugget talking about the TV show Veep.
Yeah. Red
Uh,
Dawn. There you go, Mike. Never
Dude,
Red
I
Dawn.
saw Red Dawn. I'll probably watch it again today. There's certain movies because I work from home, and I go and I meet a client or I do Zooms with clients or whatnot. But probably about 4 or 5 hours of the day, I'm doing my work at home with the TV on in the background.
Yeah,
And
me too.
I will throw on a movie. Sometimes I'll have Sports Center on all day or whatever. But I'll throw on a movie, and I watched Red Dawn the other day, and that is a movie that is so good. The remake was okay.
Man, they off them kids. They're
Fine.
over there by the rock outcropping, and they're like, hold on, shh. Freaking helicopter comes, and they just over here snacking and shit, dude. It's like,
Yeah,
it's brutal, dude. Watching them just get offed. And that one guy's girlfriend gets shot
yeah.
holding her hand, you know, as she's dying and stuff. I'm like, damn.
Patrick Swayze in that movie, that one scene where they have that young Russian soldier up at like this overlook, like this peak,
Yeah.
and he executes him. And the guy's going to the car, and he's saying, "Dear God, dear God, dear God," and they had to kill him because if they don't kill him, reinforcements are going to come in and battle them or take them out. So he has to
Yeah.
kill him. The father, avenge me, avenge me. Charlie Sheen being a sexist.
Yeah, look at that culture of cuts. It's our boy Cuts by Jones. Thanks you for watching, by the way. He's
Yeah.
saying Born in East LA. That's a good movie. It's funny,
Dude,
dude.
I told Chica about that movie the other day because she wore a green dress. And I was like, have you seen the girl in the green dress? Where does she go?
Or where they're handing out the fake green cards. You are now Fernando Valenzuela.
Did you ever see A Million to One? With
Yes,
Paul
bro.
Rodriguez?
They
He
can't
never
make
cashed
these
the
movies.
ticket. He never cashed the ticket. It was just always there.
Yeah. They can't make these movies, man.
Wolverines.
They can't do that stuff no more, man. But look at that Sam Salinas Wolverines. They can't do this stuff no more, man. Like it's America's got a little too soft when it comes to these jokes nowadays. You can't say anything. If you do, you get canceled. It's part of the cancel culture now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not politically correct. And what was the other movie that you were talking about with Morgan Freeman and Matthew Broderick? Glory. Oh God.
Dude, when we all amped up watching that movie the first time,
We had to watch it in school, bro. They made us watch it in school.
Matthew Broderick makes his way up Fort Sumter, right? He climbs up there. Come on, guys, come on. Then he gets shot, and then everyone gets all weirded out. And then Denzel Washington goes up and picks up the flag. He becomes patriotic all of a sudden because he had been unpatriotic most of the movie.
Yeah.
And he screams, come on, come on. And then he gets shot. And then Karen Always, who's now in charge, and Morgan Freeman, who's now in charge of the enlisted soldiers, run up the ramp, and they're going through the Fort Sumter, and it looks like they're going to take it over. And we're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they turn the corner, and all these cannons are pointed right at them, and boom. And then the movie ends with all the bodies being thrown into a mass grave.
Hippie life. Glory is goaded. I love the 54th.
Long live the 54th.
You know what? That's when it happened.
And what's so funny is that the nerdy nerdy freed African American, right? So he was never a slave, but he was a nerdy one who was Matthew Broderick's good friend, like raised
Yeah.
with him, ended up being that main guy, one of the main guys in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Huh.
Andre Brower, may he rest in peace, passed away last year. That was him as a young man. Kind of funny. There's a lot of talent in that movie.
Yeah, I'm saying that scene where they coming around the corner and they get blasted by the cannons. That's gonna be Spur fan this season, dude. Oh
Oh,
man, we're going to the playoffs. We're back, baby. We're back. We're going to the play-in. And then they get to the play-in and boom, they get blasted, bro. They get absolutely
funny.
trounced. They get blown out of the water by 30 points. And Spurs fan and be like going back into the shadows, that gif with Homer Simpson going back into the bush, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Chris
Yeah.
Gonzalez said that his parents used to watch North versus South. Oh my
Oh,
God,
I
that was a
remember that.
miniseries that came out on ABC back
That's
in the
way
day.
back when.
That's a
yeah.
Patrick Swayze movie. That was really, really good. Jesse A saying American Gangster. My man.
Hey.
My man, Denzel Washington. I saw the movie one time. I haven't seen it since. I need to go back, dude. Needs to go back.
Yeah.
Check it out one more time. You want to talk about sports, Joe?
Let's talk a little about
Or
sports.
F
man.
that?
No,
We're
we
gonna
can
have
talk.
Friday, we don't give a damn.
We can talk about sports a little bit. Like I was saying, we had an article that came out by SI, which I thought was interesting. They're trying to go ahead and give Coach Pop his roses, and rightfully so. There's no reason to hate on the brother. He's had a historic career. And they had an article that they just released about a couple days ago. It's a good read, man. You should go and if you're a Spur fan, go ahead and check it out. And it's called The Tao of Pop. And this is what I was telling you. You look at that and you're like, is that a typo, a misspelling? Does anybody know what Tao means? And when you look up the meaning of Tao, the literal translation is a road or a path, a way. So it's like the way of pop, the path of pop, the road of pop. It's what it leaves its, I guess, the meaning up to interpretation, however you want to take it. But nonetheless, there's that article that they have out on SI right now. So if you Spurs fans looking to read something here, go ahead and check it out.
When I saw this, Joe, and I did read part of it, Joe, but this was my reaction to it.
Oh no, Mike. I already know. This is really what
If
you're
this
reacting.
was 10 years ago, Joe, it would be beautifully said, actual and factual. But after 6 losing seasons in a row, Joe, it was just a guy
This
that
was
waited.
you?
This was me. After 6 losing seasons, I don't want to hear about the Tao of crap. It was a old man who refused to leave, an old man who refused to retire. Is all that it is. This is a great article, a great way of pointing things out in the year 2015, 2016, 2017. Fine. But the second we started losing 6 years in a row, that whole Tao of whatever is just nonsense. It's old news,
Mike.
man. It's old news. By the way, the NBA stripped him of 30 some odd wins yesterday. 33 wins, I believe.
Why?
They gave that to the new head coach, Mitch Johnson. So remember back in the day when Steve Kerr missed out on a season and Luke Walton got all these wins as their interim head coach, and then Steve Kerr came back? They awarded all of those wins that they had and winning the division and whatnot to Steve Kerr, even though Steve Kerr was never on the bench for those games. They were going to do the same for Greg Popovich, but the NBA has reversed course and said, no, since Pop is not coming back, that is considered to be Mitch Johnson's record, which is fantastic. That's good for Mitch Johnson. He didn't do bad. What was he, 33 and 44 last year? That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
With that roster, that wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I mean, and look at Locked On Spurs. Joe, you think Pop will be a tribute day game / this season, or Pop killing the idea? No, they're going to go ahead and they should give Pop his roses. The first game, official game here at the Frost Center. I don't know what they call it now. They call it the Frost Center still. Sorry. I'm thinking about AT&T Center. It's Frost Center, day one, first home game of the season, in front of a sold-out crowd with the fans. Give Pop his roses. Put up the video, man. Why not? Give out Coach Pop shirts, El Jefe shirts. Give them out day one to the fan. The fan wants it. Give it to him.
So now Pop's record is going to be finally set at 1,390 wins and 824 losses. The weird thing is that because they took those 77 games away, his all-time winning percentage went up from .621 to .628, which is seventh all-time best percentage all-time behind Phil Jackson, Billy Cunningham, Casey Jones, Red Auerbach, Steve Kerr, and Pat Riley. Joe, do you think that that's a victory total that'll never be broken?
I don't want to say never because you got Coach Spo there hanging out in the shadows there. If he
Isn't
stays,
that's the guy that's the challenger, right?
bro, if he stays on course, Coach Spo is probably going to be the most winningest coach in NBA history. He's probably going to go down as, if not the greatest, one of the greatest coaches in NBA history.
And he's so young, though, man.
He's still got a lot of tread on the tire, bro. He does.
So he ends with 1,390 wins, right? So I'm looking at all-time NBA coaching wins. Do we count ABA?
No, not ABA, dude.
Okay, so he's at 1,390. Don Nelson had 1,335. Lenny Wilkins, 1,332.
They showed Nelly the other day during one of the NBA playoff games.
Dude,
he's still going, man.
Doc Rivers might break the record, Joe.
Doc Rivers is a horrid coach, dude. Everywhere he goes, he's just synonymous with losing.
Well, look at this, Joe. Active coaches that are still around. Doc Rivers has 1,162 victories. That is 228 behind Pop. Spoelstra has 787. He's got a ways to go, man. But can Spoelstra's like 60% of the way there. But Doc Rivers, imagine if Doc Rivers ends up as the most winningest coach of all time. Doc Rivers is 63 years old. He needs to have like 500 record, 5 seasons of 45 wins. And he beats Pop's record.
Yeah, but Doc Rivers, nah, man. He's gonna have to have a job for that extended period of time. And he's not.
He will,
won't,
dude.
bro.
Pop, dude, he will have a job for
you love you some fucking Doc Rivers more than you love Coach Pop. You're over here enamored with him, man. Come on.
Doc
what
Rivers
did he ever do
is the first tall tale I ever had in my entire life involved Doc Rivers. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah, I've heard it before, man. This is my reaction to that stupid ass story. You keep on talking about that damn
Bring
story
the eye roll
over and over.
Bring the eye roll.
Here we go. That's me. The embellisher, like Chica says. The embellisher.
For those of you who don't remember, Doc Rivers yelled at me inside the locker room at the Alamo Dome when I was 17 years old, and he did it just to see what my reaction would be, and then he apologized. It was him saying, "Welcome to the NBA." That was his welcome, my welcome to the NBA moment. He knew I was a teenager. He knew I was young. He basically said, "Hey, man, that's as worse as it's ever going to be." Well, he asked your questions, and he was really nice to me at that point.
Yeah,
and Seth coming out saying Joe is cooking.
Yeah, it's like, Mike,
stop the cap.
Stop the cap, bro.
No, man, I'll never forget Doc Rivers doing that to me, man.
Just like
Welcome
you never
to the
played.
NBA.
I was asked to play a pickup game with the Spurs, but I didn't want to hurt Tim Duncan. No mames, bro.
No mames otra vez.
No, I didn't want to hurt Tim Duncan, not because I was going to cross him over, because my ass would have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he would have landed on me. That's why. Speaking of which, did you see that video of Wemby trying to do a bicycle kick?
You're going to be hating on that now?
Find it. Please find it, Joe.
Oh, my God.
Do people give him crap?
No.
Joe, at least we see Sohan going out there and practicing three-pointers.
Getting stronger.
We at least see Sohan out there with a parachute on. But we have Wemby out here playing soccer, which is fine, trying to do a bicycle kick, and he lands on his back. What the hell's going on here? Dude, if I was the whole family, I would get pissed and say, quit your crap, get in the gym, Learn how to shoot an inside hook. Learn the bank shot. And instead, what is he doing? Hanging out with the monks. What's he doing? Playing horse with some kid on the north side. What's he doing? What's he doing? In the middle of nowhere, hanging out with kids. What's he doing?
He's in
Landing on his
Japan?
back playing soccer.
He's
Dude,
in
come on,
Japan.
man.
He's
Come
over there
on,
at the
man.
was it the fashion show? You know,
Go inside the gym, dude. You know what? Wemby's starting to piss me off.
you don't like Wemby? No.
7'5", 7'4", small forward.
Are you gonna finally
Come
jump on the
on, man.
Wimpy Ganas train?
You know what it is, Joe? I mean, people got mad at me when I tweeted out there a few months ago. What if Castle has more dog in him than Wemby? What if Castle? What if Castle's the Batman and Wemby's the Robin? Everyone thought that was so stupid to say. But what if Wemby's just not the alpha that the Spurs need? What if he just isn't? What if he isn't that guy?
What are you gonna say, Mike? Come on, say it. Say it with your chest out. You got something to say? Don't be scared.
I was not scared. I'm just saying.
Say
He's going to be a very, very, very good player. He's going to be an all-star, future Hall of Famer, all that stuff.
Not
but at the end of the
generational?
day, the nuts got to drop, dude. Ball's got to drop at some point, dude. And him playing soccer with kids and doing bicycle kicks in the middle of the summer, F that, dude. Get in the gym. Get in the gym. Learn a post-up. How do we have a 7'4" guy who doesn't have a post-up game? How the hell did that happen? We have a 7'4" guy who shoots 32% from three. That's what we got. Legendary defender. He's a great
You wanted
defender.
me to show the video so you could bitch about Wemby. It's just your rant. Just so you could go on a rant.
Joe, people are going to fall in line with this,
Oh,
dude. What if
man.
Harper's better? What
You
if Castle
want him?
becomes
That's
better?
the thing. You want Harper to be better, so you could be, putting your chest out, beating your chest, and all that. Right now, every time you see a picture of Wemby, a video of Wemby out there on vacation, he's not in the gym. This is you, and rightfully so. Because Spurs fans, I think they do want to see, and me included too. I'm going to be on that train. You want to see video of him working in the gym. Is he working on his game? What is he doing? I get he's enjoying some downtime right now, and he's having fun. But then you look at the other guys and they're in the gym. They're getting ready, for the upcoming season. They want to win. And you kind of want to see that out of your best players, including one Victor Wembanyama, So hopefully Wemby soon will decide to get in the gym finally.
I think that you want him to be, as much as I think this player was overrated, all-time great, yes. Top 10, sure, fine, whatever. But you want him to have that mentality of Kobe of, I want to be better than everybody. I want to exert my influence, exert myself over you. You're not going to beat me. You want him to have that mentality. Kobe called it the Mamba mentality. Fine, whatever you want to call it. Tim Duncan had that mentality.
The Wimpy mentality, not Wemby, but Wimpy.
Dude, Duncan silently had that mentality. Overtly, Kobe had that mentality.
You want to win. You're competitive at a high level. That's what it is.
You want it to be all-consuming of what you do and who you are.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was that way. Magic Johnson was that way. Larry Bird was that way. I look at Wemby and I think to myself, he's more interested in being a kid, which is fine. He's a young man. Maybe he grows up, but that's going to be down the road. And, the international superstar aspect of it is a double-edged sword. It brings more eyes to the Spurs and the city of San Antonio, but the double-edged sword is that it takes his attention away from what's on the court. It takes it to, marketing, it takes it to fashion shows, it takes it to other countries and all that stuff. And, dude, at the end of the day, man, I don't get excited about a 7'4" small forward, dude. I don't care how good he is defensively. At the end of the day, he will never reach his full potential if his ass is 23 feet away from the bucket.
Yeah. Well, we do have an incoming super chat from Jason Garcia, who is in Vegas, by the way, right now. So, hey, what's up? Jason? Appreciate the super chat.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
He's saying, from Jason Garcia, he says, what stage of Fluffy is Mike?
So what stage of Fluffy? Well, let's see. I lost 25 pounds last year. I gained back 15, and I have since lost 10 of that 15. So I'm still down 20 from my highest point. So I would say I am second trimester.
Second trimester. You put on that love weight, and now Chica's trying to take it off.
No, it's because I didn't feel right, dude. My knee, dude. This is the first day
It
in
crunched.
about 3 months where my knees feel great, dude. My knees feel amazing. I didn't wake up sore. I didn't have to stretch. And a lot of that's because you have to lose weight, dude. It just is what it is. But you can call me fluffy all you want. A lot of people who are out there making fun of me are just as big, if not bigger than me. So it just is what it is. But I'm down 21 pounds from where I was about 18 months ago. So
Look
it is what it is.
at
Did you ever tell David Robinson to stop going to church to get back in the gym? You know what? No, you know why?
Quit praying, David.
He was
Quit
praying for his teammates. He was praying for his game and his footwork, man. It went hand in hand. You know what? His faith and his basketball play went hand in hand.
Oh my
Bicycle
God.
kicks and Wemby having no post-up game do not go hand in hand.
Look at this. Sam Salinas just says, Joe, how much time has Wemby spent on the court this summer? The generational talent who's supposed to develop because he's so young isn't out developing.
I know. People are going to turn on Wemby, Joe.
You're gonna wear your Wemby jersey, no?
No, I mean, like the goodwill that we have for Sohan this year has gone up. It's gone up because we actually see him trying. And I don't know if he gave up that much effort the first 2 years of his contract, the first 3 years of his contract, but we do see Wemby going out there. Do you know who's a baller right now, Joe?
Oh,
Who lives in the gym and isn't necessarily doing what Sohan is doing by posting everything on social media, but you do see at the gym, Stephon Castle. Castle's taking his career seriously. And I think Dylan Harper's that way. I think Sohan's trying to be that way. But what's Wemby doing? What's he doing?
I don't know. What's he doing? Tell me, Mike.
Chris Gonzalez and Jimenez told Duncan to stop playing paintball and get back in the gym. No, because that paintball game is alpha mentality, Joe. It's competitive nature. It's fire. It's teamwork. You can take that and apply it to the basketball court. It's just different, Joe. I mean, we have a celebrity. We have a celebrity. And at the end of the day, wouldn't it be funny if Wemby becomes the third best player on this team?
You want to see what Wemby was doing in the offseason to train? I'll show you right here.
Oh, my God. Quit it, man. Shut the front door. That's so lame, man. Drew Show with a $5 super chat coming on in.
Oh, God, dude.
Says, I thought Wemby was...
Here comes the money.
There you go.
Drew Show says, I thought Wemby was supposed to be the big man camp with the dream. Wemby is all talk and no action. Sham God dribbles over low post moves. Talking about Wemby supposedly was going to work out with Hakeem Olajuwon, right? That was going to be the plan. Maybe it happened, but if it did happen, it was what, for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't like seeing Wemby doing what he's doing, man. It's starting to piss me off. It really is. You know what I want to see a video of? Post-up game. I want to see a video of drop steps. I want to see a video of a sky hook. I want to see a video of a bank shot. I want to see that. Dude, if we have to live with Wemby shooting 7 3-pointers a game next year, cut it out, dude. Just
Look at
move
Tony
on.
Ornelas. I'm sure these guys are working hard, but can they also have a life and be happy? Says so the Cowboy fan. And now you Tony Ornelas is, Cowboy fan and Spurs fan. Same mentality. You want the team to have fun. Don't take things seriously. But then when you suck and you don't go anywhere, hey, at least you still have a new jersey, right?
Yeah.
You have the City Edition jersey, Mike. You got the Fiesta color back. You got that.
So Figs reaches out to us on our YouTube stream on our Twitter account. I asked the question: is President Whitmore in the movie Independence Day Democrat or Republican? Figs says he believes that he was a Democrat, that he was actually representing Bill Clinton in the movie. That's what I thought as a kid. LOL.
Yeah.
So far, 26 votes in, 62% believe that he was a Democrat. Was it because he didn't want to use the nukes?
Yeah. Didn't want to. Look at that. Pissing me off is Mike going on these vacations and Joe is the dog of the show.
Joe is the dog of the show. I'm not denying that, Joe.
Look at that. You got an incoming super chat from Sam Salinas.
Here comes the money.
He says, posting Wemby's Kumite training, Joe. Hey,
Mm.
y'all wanted to see a picture of him training? That's the closest thing I got to him actually picking up something and like doing something with it. The brick.
The brick.
the stick.
Was it a brick?
I see him put a damn ball in his hand, go out there, unless it's against some little kids or little 5 foot nothing Chinese men out there. I'm like, come on, Wemby. What are you
Now,
doing?
I mean, Eric Cesaros reaches out and says, I believe Wemby's not cleared from his blood clot until later this month. I believe he's still limited as to what he can do on the basketball court. Not talking about going 5-on-5. I'm not talking about overexerting yourself, but doing things like footwork, cardio stuff, bank shots, hook shots, just practicing stuff like that is what I would want to see. I don't want to see him in the gym going 5-on-5 in at Rucker Park in New York or at UCLA gym with the NBA players. I don't want to see that yet until he's cleared. But you don't need to be cleared to practice. Talking about practice.
They're roasting you already on social media. Look at this. This is how MJ acquired taste reacted when I told him grandma got picked up by ice. Look at that.
What was I talking about there?
I don't know, man, but they quick with it. Shout out to my boy Elias, man. Oh God. That's funny today, dude. Look at that. Elias is in here laughing. He's stirring the pot. Jeff is gonna run with that, Mike. Just running with that one. That's gonna be the headline of his ex today. Look at Mira. Look at Mike. Oh, you put the poll out there. President Whitmore in the movie Independence Day, was he a Democrat or Republican? I'm gonna say Democrat. You know what? I'm gonna say he was a Democrat, and you know what? I'm gonna show that the live stats, and they said 63% of the fans who have voted agree as well. Only 37% said he's Republican.
Interesting. Yeah, I see that. That means, okay, so if you go that direction, that means that Will Smith's character is Republican. Because they're not the same. They're not the same because, again, Will Smith's girlfriend said that she voted for the other guy, and I would assume they voted the same way. Most couples vote the same way. Throwing that out there.
Yeah. I'm still laughing at that video Sith went ahead and posted. But we have some other news that I wanted to get at too. So Spur fan might still have delusions of grandeur for maybe the Spurs picking up Giannis, here in the offseason. Reportedly, Giannis is upset, not pleased with the team's decision to waive Damian Lillard. But Damian says, hold up, Giannis. Don't be so mad.
I'm good.
Hold my beer, brother. Because look at what it says here. Damian Lillard is elated that the Bucks released him, allowing him to choose a contender of his choice without sacrificing money.
Right.
Okay.
He's going to get paid anyway. So they extended his contract out. They cut him. And it's in the NFL, they call it dead cap space, right? And
Yep.
I guess in the NBA, they do as well. He's going to be on the books for a while. The Spurs have dead cap space also, right? We had Damari Carroll as dead cap space for a good while there, right? For years, we had him on there. We have Thad Young as dead cap space. So the Spurs have had that in the past. Even last year, we had some dead cap space. But the amount that Lillard's going to bring is like 20 some odd million per year. On top of that, they got Miles Turner. When they signed Miles Turner to his contract, it was the equivalent of signing him to $50 million. Miles Turner. Because if you combine his contract with the dead cap space of Dame Lillard, essentially the superstar you got was 11-year vet Miles Turner. So he's got to look at that. And then also Milwaukee has no draft picks that they control. They have none of their own draft picks.
No.
They have no future. They've got no number 2. Miles Turner's a good piece. He's a good player. But Miles Turner and Giannis aren't going to be, winning the East by any stretch of the imagination. That's barely a playoff team. Giannis, if he wants to win, needs to leave. And now Dame Lillard, who's going to miss all of next year, is going to come back out in his late 30s. And he's going to be able to pick whatever team he wants to go to and get to play on the cheap because he's already getting paid by the Milwaukee Bucks. What an awful situation it is for Giannis to be out there just twisting in the wind.
He wants to
They
win.
They tried, but when Dame went down with an injury, it was all over. It was all bust at that point.
Hey, man, you know what, Mike? There's a little bit of pop culture news that I'm going to throw here in the mix.
Bring it.
Do you see this? Adult Chuck E. Cheese is now open.
Okay.
I think it's funny. I think what they're doing is that they're just selling some of the games that people remember playing at these Chuck E. Cheese. So if you want to revisit your childhood, you can do that. But one of the weirdest trends that I've seen here as of late, my kids have told me this, and some of my, let's say, nieces now that have kids of their own, they're saying, what the weirdest thing is? When they go to Chuck E. Cheese with their kids, that they're seeing 20-somethings, like 21-year-olds, celebrating their birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese. That weird, dude. Like, of all the places you could go, why would you want to go back to Chuck E. Cheese?
Are they doing that because that's what they can afford, or are they doing that because
Who knows, man?
nostalgic reasons?
I mean, if you're an adult now, right? You're 21, you're of legal age to drink. Why the hell would you go back to Chuck E. Cheese for? Like, you can go hang out at the bar, do something else with your friends,
Let me tell you what
know.
Cheek and I did over the weekend. Tell me what you think about it, because it's very nostalgic in this vein right here. There's an arcade in the Woodlands
Yeah.
that is $15, $15, all you can play all day, every day. So from morning to evening. Think about it like diversions, right? It's the old
Yeah.
school video games. It's all the 80s and 90s games. It probably stops around, say, 2000, right? So you have NBA Jam. You have all the pinball machines, Pac-Man, Galaga. I was even playing track and field. It was Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, all that stuff, right? But it's BYOB. Chica and I took a 375 milliliter Crown Royal in there, bought a couple of Diet Cokes, played video games all night the other night. It was pretty nostalgic playing Cubert. The jukebox was free, dude. Yeah, but you were only allowed to play 3 songs. The jukebox was free. BYOB, $15 the whole night. Play all the games you wanted to play. We were there for like 3 or 4 hours playing Street Fighter, playing Mortal Kombat. It's
Yeah.
good. It was fun. NBA Jam was amazing. What was it called? 10-yard fight. Good times.
Look at that. Joe has clearly never played Papa Shot Drunk. I have played Papa Shot Drunk. It's fun when you're out there with your buddies. Oh, yeah, man, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to make like all these shots. And then you look at the final score when you're all drunk off your ass, 3-5 or 3-4. It's hard, man, when you're out there trying to go ahead and knock down these little basketballs into the rim and you're all already had a little bit too much. Like, good times. Joust. I remember Joust. I never got to liking Joust, dude. I thought it was always dumb. Galaga was my jam. I didn't mind that. Killer Instinct, Ultra Combo, and all that stuff. I like that, man. I thought that was cool back in the day. I think I have a soundbite from them. Hold on. I thought Ultra Combo and all that kind of stuff. I thought I had it here. Oh, yeah, I do have it here.
Ultra Combo!
There you go. Just for you guys. And we also got an incoming super chat here from the Drew Show. Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
Here comes the money.
And look what he says. He says, Dame. He says, Dame is 37 years old, with the blown Achilles. He can't wait to wave a towel on the bench. He goes, for the contender. He goes, Dame time is dead.
I know, Dame time, dude. Watch Dame time get picked up by the OKC Thunder or get picked up by the Houston Rockets, and we're gonna be all pissed.
But if he decides to go to the
Lakers aren't a contender, dude. Lakers picked up DeAndre Ayton. I mean, who cares? That Lakers team sucks.
Oh God! You know what? We also got to go and give a quick shout out here to one of our good friends, Tex-Mex Frank. Man, look at all those nice hats, dude. He has one that says Texas Lady, you know, barbecue, Texas, Texicans, the one that everybody loves here. You know, these are some cool designs, man. There's the one for Chica right there at the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Texas Chica. You see that?
That's funny.
We got to get her one of those.
Show some love to Fernandez's son, man. That was great story.
Oh, yeah, man. We got to give some love to Fernandez. So let's go ahead and show that real quick here. But as we also just got another super chat from the Drew Show, we'll show that on screen real quick as well.
Yeah, he says,
Here comes the money.
He says the Milwaukee Bucks stopped being a contender when Giannis demanded they trade Drew Holiday for Dame. GM Giannis sucks. Make him play out his contract. F that guy. Well, you know what? I mean, Drew might be onto something. You don't fix what's not broken. They won a title with Drew.
Yeah.
They won a title with Coach Bud. What do? They got rid of Drew. They got rid of Coach Bud. And what happened? They sucked thereafter.
Yeah.
Look at the Knicks right now. The Knicks going from Thibodeau, who took them to the Eastern Conference Finals, the furthest they had been in a couple of decades, while on the cusp of potentially making it to the NBA Finals. What do? They get rid of Thibodeau, right? Because he's unpopular, right? But what do? Who they get? They get Mike Brown instead. Stupid.
Jeez. Oh, well, this is a feel-good story here. You want to go ahead and take it, Mike?
Yeah, so Fernandez, who's a good friend of the show, he co-hosts with Joe on Fridays every once in a while, asked the question, showing a photo of his son, by the way, Boston bound? Fernandez says it's a proud father moment, humbled to announce an offer from Fisher College in Boston. Shout out to Coach Z at Gotham Prospects. Now it's time to get back to work. His son, Ethan Fernandez, a 6'1" point guard, class of 2026, offered a position with an NAIA school there in Boston, Massachusetts. Again, Fernandez is from San Antonio, but actually just retired from the Marines, lives in San Diego. And we would always ask him, hey, man, when you retire, are you going to come back to San Antonio? And he goes, nah, man, my kids are in school. They're playing basketball. And now his son, class of 2026, could be off to Boston. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that he's not going to come back to San Antonio at some time. But for now, he was just out there because his son was in high school and stuff right now. And he wanted to be there, watch the games and whatnot. So congratulations to you, Rick Fernandez. We also know him as Fernandez, and to his boy Ethan, man. That's a big accomplishment, man. I'm sure he's a proud papa right now.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
And
Jason Garcia has a $2 super chat coming on in.
Here we go.
Says,
Here comes the money.
wants an old school grito for the 4th of July, dude. Let's make it happen.
Presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor.
There you go. Old school grito just for you, Jason.
I'm going to be back in the truck about 5 o'clock this afternoon. Going to head back to San Antonio, enjoy the 4th of July in San Antonio with my family over there. It's my daughter's birthday yesterday. She turned 22 years old. She was in Cleveland, Ohio with her mom. They went to go see Hamilton.
Nice.
My nephew Jacob was there with them, and they're going to be coming back tomorrow. So pick up Gabby girl from the airport, taking her to Guitar Center because Chica bought her a guitar for her birthday, an electric guitar. And we're going to then go to my sister's house, enjoy 4th of July. Joe, what are you doing for 4th?
I'm going to be hanging out here, doing my thing, just hanging out with the family, enjoying some, stuff on the grill, probably making, like I said, hot dog, hamburgers to start off with, probably add some other stuff in the mix too. But of course you got to have the hot dogs, hamburgers, because it wouldn't be 4th of July without that. Probably throw some other things on there, maybe make some fajitas or, the ribs or something. But we're gonna have fun here. We'll probably take in the what do you call it, the fireworks over here at SeaWorld. But I'm also going to be going to see that new Jurassic Park movie with the kids as well. My adult kids probably be hanging out at the Flicks Brew House. But if you're in town, Mike, make it a point to stop by it sometime just to
Yeah.
pick up your shirt.
Yeah. Hey, is the new Jurassic movie, is that with Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, it's with Scarlett Johansson. I've heard a mixed bag. Some people saying it's good, some saying it's really bad. It's Jurassic Park. Just don't think about it too much. Popcorn flick. Let's see how good or bad it really is. Either way, I'm going to go and check it out, have a good time with the kids, but more importantly, get out of this damn humidity and heat that we have around here. I still got to do some more yard work out in the front and the back. I'm trying to get the yard back in order here, but man, with the rain and stuff, there's just tons of insects, mosquitoes. Bro, it's like one of those times you do not want to be hanging out in the backyard drinking beers right by the grill. You're going to get eaten alive, dude. It's awful.
Drew Show says also F bar S Weenus for the 4th.
Jeez, bro.
Most sausage links for the win, dude. Bar S sucks.
If you bring that to the family cookout, you're immediately going to be like, you know what? Get the hell out of here. What is this crap?
I'm too damn old to be eating cheap hot dogs, man. Give me the good 100% beef franks from Ballpark or from Nathan's. One of those.
You don't show up to the family barbecue with cheap paper plates that fall apart. You don't show up with the freaking off-brand soda, and you don't bring the cheap-ass weenies, dude. Come on, man.
Off-brand soda and off-brand chips, man. No. And you got to have good bread, Joe. There's certain things that you can't cheap out on.
Man.
Bread's not one of them.
You have to have the name brand buns, bro. And you know what? Go to freaking Sam's. They have the Mrs. Baird's hot dog buns, hamburger buns. They're like $3 for I think it was 16 or 18 pack. I mean, you go to HEB, you can get the Hill Country Fare if you want. It's not going to be the same. It don't taste the same. I'm just saying, if you're being invited to somebody's barbecue, don't be cheap.
Yeah.
Don't be cheap, man. They're inviting you. You're going to partake. It's almost like a potluck, right? Like a family potluck. Everybody's bringing something. Don't be cheap, bro.
Well, you know what? We're going to call it a show. Everyone have a fantastic 4th of July weekend. Don't drink and drive. Uber's your friend and all that stuff. I have to head back to the office and get things going. Have a noon meeting that I got to take off to. But, Joe, I'll be in town. I'll see if I can reach out to you tomorrow. See if I can swing by, pick up the shirt.
Yeah.
But we will be back on Monday. Everyone enjoy the 4th of July weekend. Spend it with your families. Pop some fireworks. Don't be like that one football player back in the day who blew off his 2 fingers. What was his name?
I forgot.
First round draft pick. Forgot his name. Anyway, yeah, don't be like him.
Hey, but before
don't
we
pop
go,
fireworks in your hands.
We got to play it one
Light
more
them,
time,
run
Mike.
away.
We got to play it one more time, Mike.
Okay.
It's Friday, and I'm broke. My check better not be short.
All right, boys. We'll see you all on Monday. Be safe out there. We're out. Peace.
See ya.